What's up, everybody? Bryce and Michael here, and I just want to do a quick rundown of everything that's in the QAV180. I know that you guys that have watched me build this drone have noticed that I've switched some things out, like I've got the different motors on it now, different a different flight control board, and things like that. But this drone, as is right now, if I were to build a 180 all over again, this is everything that I would put in it, 100%. So out of everything that I've switched in and out and did this and that, what's in it right now, currently, this is what I would put in the 180 if I ever build it again. I'm reordering everything. Besides maybe the VTX, because the VTX is huge. But, let me say real quick, being a first time build, I would suggest that you move up to a 5-inch prop drone or a 6-inch prop drone, like a 210, 220, 260, something like that. But not a 4-inch drone, because this has very, very limited space. It forced me to be a little innovative when it comes to the gigantically huge VTX and the gigantically huge i6B transmitter receiver. I had to kind of come up with some ideas of that, plus the pre-pinned flight control board, trying to fit everything in here, plus make it look nice. I think I did it. I did a good job at doing it. And if I got all these pieces, I would be damn sure happy. Even if I got this VTX, I would be happy to build this all over again. It was that much fun. I had a blast doing it. And now I'm just going to tell you everything that's in it, just in case you want to order it yourself, and in case you want to build it yourself. Although I would get a bigger frame. You could still use all this stuff. I would just get maybe a bigger frame. But this is a pretty good drone. I'm very, very happy with this drone. Anyways, the carbon fiber frame itself is the QAV180 3K carbon fiber frame. It's $19.99, and it comes with a free PDB board. And it's a very, very, very easy beginner's PDB board that you can use. It's got all the positive on one side, the negative on the other. It's really, really cool. PDB board. You can be real sloppy with it if you want to. So, first time builders, very, very good opportunity to get your hands dirty with the PDB board. Start soldering on it if you've never soldered before, and just get you some practice built up on that PDB board, because you're not going to mess it up, and you don't have to worry about mixing them and crossing them over. So you just got to worry about where you're sticking your wires. So next thing on the list is the Emax MT1806 2208 Kv Brushless Motors, and these things are awesome. I love these motors. They're very, very good motors, and they're fairly cheap motors. If you want to wait a little while, it took about 3 weeks for these motors to come in, but they were well worth the wait. These motors were only $25.59. So for 4 motors, 1, 2, 3, and 4 motors, $25.59. I thought that was pretty cool. And if I ever build a QAV180 again, I'm probably going to use these exact same motors. That's how much I like these motors. The props on these are the Aris 4045 bullnose tri-props. They came in a bag of 10. They were $16.89. Nobody really cares about the props because I'm going to be using all sorts of different props. But since these are the first props that I've used on this, I don't know how this thing's going to perform with a dual prop maybe, or a quad prop or something like that. So I'm going to be trying the different props and stuff out as I go and as I fly. So just a suggestion, if you're wanting some cheap props, $16.89, you get 10 props. And Aris is a really good brand. These things are solid. They are so thick. So I've crashed head first, and also I still haven't broke them. I've crashed this thing like 1,000 times now. Look at this. Look at that. Missing a leg. Props are still good. And the props are what take the blunt of a crash. And everything else is starting to break, but the props aren't. So, awesome. Very, very sturdy props. The ESCs on them, you can't see the ESCs because they are covered. But if you'd like to know what the ESCs are, the ESCs are the OCD BL Heli Suite ESCs. They come with Afro 12 amp firmware, and you get all 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, for $26.49. You can use a 2 to 4S battery. And they are 3D capable, so they're very, very diverse, very, very slim and diverse ESCs. So really good for QAV180, and very good if you end up getting bored with a 3S and want to move up to 4S. You can move up to a 4S, and if you get bored with a 4S, you can move it into 3D. So keep your options open. Anyways, The camera right here, you can barely see it because it's dark. There's the camera there. It looks a lot like a Owl Run cam, but it's not. It's actually like a cheap clone of the Owl Run cam. It's a 700 TVL CMOS, CMOS FPV camera. That thing was only $16.99, and it's a very good camera. Very crisp, very clear. I love this camera, and it comes out through the Eachine VR007 FPV goggles. Very, very clear. Very clear. And the only problem that I've had with it is its adjustment to light is a little bit slow. And when you're going into the light, like if it's dawn and the sun's going down and you start heading towards the sun, it has trouble adjusting the light. But if you're out flying during the day when the sun's out and stuff like that, perfect camera, really good camera. If you're out flying at dawn, sucks to be you. Sucks to be me, because I'm flying with it. Anyways, the VTX on it. One thing that I would change would be the VTX, because the VTX is huge as hell. One thing I wouldn't change is the VTX, because the VTX is cool as hell. For one, it's got the digital numbers right here. And then right along, I got real lucky with this. It's a QAV180 frame, and these right here are like battery straps. And the buttons on this VTX to change the digital channels up here are right here. Right into this strap cut open and this strap cut open. So I was able to position this VTX just perfectly to set it here so I could switch, stick something stick something like a pin or something in there and just change the channels from 1 through 40. I think it's cool that it's a 40 channel. Boss Cam, 5.8 gigahertz, 600 milliwatt VTX. It's very clear. I've had hardly any breakup. And I mean, I've been flying this thing wildly, punching it and all sorts of things. Before I did the PID tuning and got it running like a Cadillac, it was loose like a goose, and it was all over the freaking place. And I was punching it this way and that way. And usually when you do that type of thing, it sends lots of streaks and lots of breakup and lots of cloud and stuff through your Eachine or through your goggles or something like that. And I've had hardly any. I mean, very, very good view, very good vision. I mean, it's really powerful. Bad thing about it is it drains a lot of the battery out. Drains a lot of battery out. I took the FPV system out and flew this drone with these batteries. Got about 6 minutes of flight time. Put the FPV system back in it. With these, I get about 4 minutes of flight time. So sucks a lot of the battery out. And another really bad thing about these is when you're flying, as soon as there's not enough battery to run your VTX, your FPV goggles, this shuts off, your FPV goggles don't go dark, but your drone doesn't go down because you still have enough battery to fly the drone. Isn't that weird? It's weird. Before the drone even starts to slow down, where you have to start pushing your throttle up a little bit more to keep it in the air, the VTX goes off. So, don't know what's up with that, but I like it. It's clear. With these bigger batteries here, runs perfectly for about 8 minutes. It's a good battery to run on the QAV180. Not going to say the price of the batteries because you can go through and kind of do your own research on batteries and things like that. All I will say is with this VTX, you can see the numbers there, 220 milliamp, 3-cell 11.1 volt. I think it's a 2330C, but comes with this little guy here, and I've got a new antenna coming in because what? What? Broke the antenna off because I've crashed it like 100 times. So it's actually survived a lot better than I thought it would. It was pointed straight up, like so, and after so many crashes going sideways, I just kind of leave it stuck straight out, and it still works just fine. Anyways, very simple VTX to use, very simple to go through and find out the right channel that you need to be on. 40 freaking channels to choose from. I think that's awesome. Alright, now on the bottom here you have the i6B receiver hooked up with PDB, or hooked up with PPM. Very easy to install, very easy to connect to your transmitter and everything. It's got a hard plastic shell around it, so it's practically indestructible. That's another thing that you can see that I've missed in that leg. That's a nylon standoff, so I've broken off that leg. And this gets the full force of the belly, and it's still kicking. I mean, it's indestructible. Thing is awesome. That's $13.28 for that receiver. Or you can get the Fly Sky FS i6X transmitter that comes with an i6B receiver, all in one. And that's what I did. But I got more i6Bs for future drones, and so that shows you a little that I'm going to keep running with the i6B. And the last thing on it is the Afroflight Naze 32 Rev 5 pre-pinned Acro Abuse Mark Fun Fly controller. That's a mouthful. That thing was $29, and I will tell you guys one thing: if you're going to be building a drone for the first time ever, don't cheap out on a flight control board, because I did that and it didn't work. Then I went a little bit more, and it was shitty, and so I went ahead and got a $30 flight control board, and this thing has been awesome. Very awesome. Very responsive. It's all pre-pinned, so if you're a first-time builder, I can literally take all these connections off the pins, pop the flight control board off, and do whatever I need, pop it on, and pin everything back up, and take off flying. So it's going to be really easy for in the field fixes and stuff. So that's kind of the idea behind that. And I got a few of those as well for future projects. Also a few unpinned ones that are the exact same thing, because you can get them either pinned or unpinned, however you'd like. And if you get them unpinned, you can obviously solder directly to the board, which that's going to be, there's going to be a few drones soldered directly to the board. I had a Spectrum Naze 32 Rev 6 in here that I soldered directly to the board, and it worked very, very good up until the PPM broke off the side. It didn't break off, it just stopped working, and so I had to put this one in, and this one's been working good. It's got this real thick, really freaking thick connection right here that I'm keeping all the wires in, basically to keep it sturdier until I get to be a little bit better of a pilot. Did I mention that was $29? Yes, I did. So anyways, all of that together, everything inside of this drone is, drum roll please, $167.13. That's not including batteries, and that's not including the transmitter or the FPV goggles. That is just the drone. Everything that is in the drone itself right here is $167.13, and well worth every freaking penny. When you first, if you decide to go with this Naze 32 board here, make sure that whenever you get it set up, take it out for a little bit of a flight. Don't get too crazy with it. Don't expect to go out and be FPVing it up and ripping, roaring around. Make sure that the first thing you do is you put it up in the air and kind of get a feel for how it's handling. If it's a little sloppy, if it's a little loose, if it's a little too tight, make sure that you go in and adjust the PID, the PID, right? The PID tuning, because I got this from driving like a Hoop DS Ferrero into driving like a Caddy. And with just a few more adjustments, I'll have this thing up to tip-top shape and running like the DuPont 24. No joke. I mean, this thing has been a ton of fun to fly. I'm so glad that I built it, and I'm so glad that I brought you guys along, to watch me build it. I do apologize that I kind of finished the building stuff with some of the other parts and stuff in it, and I never did like a follow-up. I kind of just added the new flight control board and the new motors and all that stuff in kind of afterwards. So the original build video, that one, the primary components of the drone itself aren't even what's in it to get it to fly and stuff. But I think it's a pretty entertaining set of videos, I guess, when it comes to stuff coming in and me talking and building it, I guess, So yeah, anyways, I've had a ton of fun, and I exploded my GoPro from crashing it, into a ton of pieces, and I don't know if I've uploaded that video or not yet, but it's not a GoPro, It's a knockoff. It's a knockoff GoPro, but you can see the front of it's off there and all that. So first time I flew it without adjusting the PID tuning. Make sure that you go in and do some tuning and make sure that it's rock solid. Take it out, you know, don't get too excited to fly it. Take it out, get a nice feel for it, see where it's loose, see where it's strong, see where it's tight. And go into your PID tuning and clean flight and really hammer it out and keep taking it outside and adjusting it, bring it back inside, adjust it again, take it back outside, fly it, bring it back inside, adjust it again. Just keep on doing that until you get it exactly where you need it. Like I said, I've got this riding like a caddy, from a Hoopty Fiero to a caddy. Do you know what a Fiero is? Does anybody out there know what a Fiero is? It was in How I Met Your Mother. You know what Marshall drives? It's like, I would walk 500 miles, right? Anyways, guys, that's the parts and the semi-review to the QAV180. And so I'm going to kind of move on from this drone after this. I might make a few more videos, you know, the more that I find out about clean flight. Like I said, this is my experimental drone. I'm experimenting with this, so I'm going to be putting, testing out different props. And I'm going to be testing out all sorts of different things on this drone. The antennas, might switch out the cam. And then once I get good enough at flying this where I'm comfortable enough, then I'm going to go ahead and put another sports action camera on it. And then I'll start getting you guys some good shots, because I don't think it's going to take me very long. Now that this is, you know, when I first flew this for the very first time and it was so loose and I didn't know anything about PID tuning or anything like that, when I first flew it I was like, holy shit, this is going to be so fucking hard. It's going to take me forever to get this thing down. Plus you add in the FPV, and it's just like stepping into a whole new world. It's going to take me so long to get this drone down. It's so tempered and it's so sluggish in sections. It's so sloppy in others, and so tight, you know, when it's not supposed to be tight, you know. And I was just kind of just like, man, I was kind of second guessing myself. I was kind of sitting there going, oh man, do I really want to get into this racing hobby, or do I just kind of want to build this one and the next one and then just kind of call it a day, fly these around like regular drones or something? I don't know what I want to do. And, you know, I said, fuck it, I'm not going to let this thing get me down. And I did a ton of research online, and I started watching PID tuning videos and stuff. So I went in and I did the PID tuning. And once I tuned that up, man, it's just like my confidence changed within seconds. No joke. As soon as I went out and I flew it after the first adjustment, I was just like, I seen the difference. I felt the difference. It flew different. You know, it felt more confident. You know, it felt like the drone itself was having more confidence. It was less sassy and less aggressive. You know, and so I went back in and I tightened it up a little bit more. Night and day difference from the first time I put on those FPV goggles and flew this while it was sloppy, to once the PID was done and putting the FPV goggles. I mean, the confidence level was just through the roof. I flew just fine. I mean, I wasn't able to do any tricks or anything fancy. I wasn't going to win any freestyle awards or punch Mr. Steele in the face or anything. But I flew it good, you know. Really, really good compared to any other time I've ever flown at FPV. Really, really good. So it's not going to take very long before I'm able to put out some pretty sick rip roaring videos. It's going to be fun. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a QAV180 167.13 for everything in here. If somebody wants it, I'll sell it to you for $200. Just kidding, but puppet. I'm keeping this thing. This thing's my experimental drone, and it's my first build. I'm keeping it forever. Unless somebody gives me $500, then I'll give it to you, because I'll just build 2 of them. Anyways, see ya.